now I'm going to turn it over to our esteemed PR team to open it up for questions from the media wherever they are around the world. By all means, make sure if you have any questions to hit the raise your hand button here on Zoom.
All right, thanks very much, Ray. As Ray just said, for all the media that have joined us, thank you for being here. And if you would, please hit that raise your hand button if you'd like to ask a question of the fighters, the trainers, or Tom Brown, of course. We'll take our first question from Manuk Kopian from the LA Times. Manuk, please unmute yourself and feel free to ask your questions.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Andy, my question is for you. You mentioned how much Elie Reynoso has been that missing ingredient at this phase of your career. What is the one particular thing that he's brought into your career at this point that has changed your approach into training, lifestyle, and along those lines?
But just by changing my mentality, changing my mentality, knowing that once we're in this sport, we got to take it serious. We can't take nothing for granted. We have to work as hard, and him telling me those words, it means a lot, but we've been training super hard, man. We've been working on a lot of different things. I have the ability to do a lot of different moves and stuff, and he's bringing that out of me. So I'm just excited for May 1st to show the new Andy coming soon.
You've had you've had trainers in the past like Manny Robles and Abel Sanchez. So you've been with high caliber trainers. What do you think Eddie does that has really changed your mindset and approach into the fight game right now?
Yeah, I had a lot of different trainers, and I appreciate every single trainer that I've had because I learned a lot from each and every trainer. And but what Eddie does, he likes to perfect every punch, every movement, every little thing that we do. So we don't just go and throw and bang and all that. We perfect what we're gonna throw. If we're gonna throw the right hand, we perfect that. If we're gonna slip and bob and weave, we're gonna counter punch. We're gonna throw punches. So he likes to perfect every punch. So that's something that I've never had in a different trainer.
And lastly, for me, a big thing about the last 16 months in your career has been your weight and how much you ballooned in the Joshua rematch. You weighed 283 that night. What is your target weight for the fight against Arreola?
You know what? After my last defeat against Anthony Joshua in Saudi Arabia, I gained to like almost 320 pounds, 310 pounds. So we've been working slowly but surely. We want to be at 255, 250. We don't want to go too crazy losing weight. So right now we're trying to make the fat into muscle and, just work hard. The discipline is there. We just need to, stay focused. And I'm not looking over past Chris Arreola because he's a tough fighter. He's a warrior. He takes a lot of punches and, he's strong, but, we just got to stick to the game plan.
Thank you, Andy.
All right. Thanks, Manuk. Our next question will come from Keith Idec with Boxing Scene. Keith, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yes, my first question is for Andy. Andy, you mentioned how difficult it was for you to go through losing your title and how hard that was for you to deal with. Can you speak to what was most difficult about it? What were you most disappointed about in terms of, how you trained for the fight maybe and how the fight went?
Well, losing from my last fight against Anthony Joshua, it was devastating, because I did not do the things that I was supposed to do. And I look back right now and I'm like, damn, man, if I would have stayed dedicated, if I would have stayed disciplined and do the right things that I was supposed to do. And that was the most important fight of my life on the rematch against Anthony Joshua. But now it's totally different. Now I got my mind right. I got a great trainer. So we're just ready for May 1st. But like I said, I was really disappointed because I knew the ability that I had and to stay champion.
Andy, what was it that led you to maybe not prepare the right way for the last fight?
Well, a lot of people got to understand that I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. And once that moment happened, I kind of went a little off the road. I started doing things that I thought I would never be able to do. I wasn't really focused on the price on the bag, So But now, like I said, I was really devastated. I do not want to go back. I do not want to do the same mistakes that I did before. And like I said, I'm more motivated than I ever been before. I have God on my side and Eddie right here. So we're ready for whatever that comes my way.
You mentioned to Manuk that you would like to weigh 250, 255 or so for your fight against Chris. How much different of a fighter do you think you'll be at that weight as opposed to how you were when you fought Joshua the second time?
You know what? I always been overweight, and now that I've been dropping weight normally and the right way by eating right, not just wearing the sauna suit, starving yourself, because that's what I used to do back in the day. But now that we're eating the right things, we're working on the right things, and I feel amazing, man. I could say this. I feel amazing. I'm more. I could do better stuff that I couldn't do before because of my big gut. I had chi-chis, I had tits that wouldn't let me throw the right punches and all that. But you know, now I'm more motivated. I'm more dedicated in this sport, and you know, sky's the limit.
All right, thanks very much, Keith. As a reminder to media, if you have any questions, please raise your hand. And let's please, if we could, everyone keep it to a max of 2 questions per person. And please remember we have Chris on the line as well. And if you have any questions for him as well as the trainers, let's work those in as well. Our next questions are going to come from Jeremy Herriges with Fansided. Jeremy, please unmute yourself and ask away.
Hi, gentlemen. This first question's for Chris. Chris, I know that you lost by unanimous decision against Kovnofsky, but you also set a record for heavyweights in throwing punches. I know you must have been disappointed, but were you also encouraged that you were able to kind of, at a bit older, still kind of put out that type of punch output?
It's not so much. It's not so much the punch output. It's more the fact that I was willing to work, and I was willing to throw combinations when I wanted to. I was in great shape for that fight. The thing that I look back on, if anything, I'm negative about is the cards. There's one judge gave me just 2 rounds. It's pretty freaking ridiculous, and I personally believe that the worst I could have got is a draw in that fight. And I came into that fight in great shape, and I will come into shape in this fight, if not better shape than that fight.
Next question's for Andy. Andy, you've talked a lot about, what you went through after the loss to Joshua. How long did that kind of period of depression last, and what really helped bring you out of it?
Like I've been gone for a year and some months, and of course it's gonna feel devastating because I didn't do the things that I was supposed to do. So of course I still keep that grudge inside my heart because I don't wanna go back and do the same error that I did before. So now that I'm with the right team, my mentality is on the right track. So I don't want to keep that focus. I just want to stay disciplined for not just for this fight, but for all the fights that I have in the future.
All right, thanks very much, Jeremy. We're going to take our next questions from Mike Rosenthal with Boxing Junkie with USA Today Sports. Mike, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. Question for Chris. Speaking of discipline, Chris, you seem to find it late in your career. Tell me if I'm accurate. And 2 is, do you sort of kick yourself and go, damn, I wish I would have figured this out a decade ago?
There's not too many things that I regret in my life, man. I did find it late. It is what it is. I'm here now. I'm working hard now. That's all that matters. The past is the past, and just leave it back there. I'm not one that dwells on the past too much because shit, it happened already. There's nothing you can change about it. Just worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow is gonna come. So you better be ready today. Every day I just prepare to get ready for tomorrow. I don't really care about the past. It happened. It's gone. What can I do about it? Nothing. All I can worry about is tomorrow. So that's what we're doing here. We're preparing. We're getting ready for tomorrow or May 1st. So now that I have this new added energy inside me, added love for the game, it just makes it a lot easier to hit the gym and to listen to Joe when I don't want to listen to him.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Michael. Our next question is going to come from Elie Seckbach with ES News. Elie, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? So, question for both Chris and Andy. I wanted to know, when you guys sparred, what do you guys remember from that session?
Well, just that we're both warriors, man. We don't like to give up. We take punches, we receive them, and we give them back, you know. And I have nothing but love with Chris Arriola. You know, we're friends outside of the ring, but inside the ring, you know, it's business. And, you know, outside of like to this day, I'll give him a hug and be like, bro, we're about to fight. And, you know, that we're going to, you know, we got to secure the bag. That's what it is.
Yeah. One thing that I remember like about Andy is that he was very unassuming. I didn't think that he was going to have the hand speed that he had. I didn't think that he was going to have the skills that he had. And once we got in the ring, holy fuck, did I have a rude awakening? You know, this kid that came from Mexicali put hands on me. You know, he was putting hands on me and I was putting hands on him back. And even though he was 17 years old, I remember that we're banging hard. And instead of quitting, he kept coming. And it was a fun sparring session. I remember that very much. And I had nothing but respect for him then, and I have nothing but respect for him now. And I was one of those guys that predict that he was going to beat Joshua the first time.
All right, excellent. Thanks very much, Elie. Our next question is going to come from Ernesto Amador. Ernesto, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Thank you. Let me start with Chris, please. Chris, if you can answer in English and Spanish, please. You shocked the world with your last performance, and it was great to watch your fight because you throw a lot of punches, and I agree with you. At least you deserve a draw. What is the meaning for you to have this emotional fight? I mean, and how is the feeling now that you're going to fight against the one Mexicans who conquered the thing that you dreamed all your career?
You know what? And in all honesty, I knew that me and Andy one day were gonna fight since the first day we sparred, and this is just basically it was meant to be. This fight between me and Andy was meant to be. Eventually, yo me acuerdo de la primera vez que hicimos sparring yo y Andy. Yo dije que un día de estos nos vamos a enfrentar, pero cuando nos enfrentaríamos va a ser por una bolsa, por una buena bolsa, porque él tenía la rapidez, tenía la combinación, tenía el corazón que se necesita para ser un campeón. Yo sabía que un día de estos íbamos a pelear y aquí estamos, el 1 de mayo vamos a tener una guerra.
Muy bien, ahora para Andy y para Eddie, con el gusto de saludarlos a todos. Andy, Eddie, la pregunta es esta. Dice Andy que estuvo deprimido, dice que pasó momentos complicados, pero eso me parece que lo hace un peleador muy peligroso. ¿Qué va a hacer Eddie Reynoso para sacar ese sentimiento, de sacarlo de la depresión y llevarlo a ser un hombre peligrosísimo? ¿Y qué has hecho tú, Andy, para cambiar ese sentimiento de estar deprimido, de saber que fallaste, para convertirlo nuevamente en recuperar el ojo de tigre? El eye of the tiger.
Pues es la disciplina y como tú dices, no se puede jugar boxeo. So, por eso aquí andamos en chinga, entrenando duro. Yo no me quiero... como yo no quiero perder otra vez y haciendo las cosas que no estaba haciendo bien, pero ahora que ando disciplinado, que ando haciendo las cosas bien aquí con el Elie, pues me siento bien, pues bien feliz, me siento bien fuerte. Estoy listo para el mayo 1 y si Dios quiere vamos a agarrar esta victoria.
Gracias, Andy. Eddie, ¿cómo conviertes ese sentimiento de Andy en un hombre muy peligroso en el ring?
Mira, antes que nada quiero decirles que Andy está haciendo un gran campamento. Todos los que decían que era un boxeador indisciplinado, la verdad a mí para nada. Aquí está trabajando bastante fuerte, le está echando mucha disciplina a cada uno de los entrenamientos, en lo físico, en lo técnico. Está muy enfocado, está muy emocionado con volver a a ser otro boxeador y créanme lo que este 1 de mayo van a ver a otro Andy Ruiz totalmente distinto y pues como te digo, reiterarle que lo felicito porque ha mostrado mucha disciplina en este campamento.
So I'm going to translate Eddie's response. Ernesto, do you want to go ahead and let the viewers know what you asked Elie Reynoso?
Ray, sorry, I moved. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and translate his response.
I just wanted to go ahead. What Ernesto asked is, how has Andy Ruiz been in camp, and what does he see differently? Elie Reynoso stated, Andy is strong. He has this tremendous amount of focus. This has been a great camp, and we are doing some great work. And as I mentioned, I congratulate Andy for his effort, his dedication to training and what he's done. And I do believe that on May 1st, you are going to see a totally different and much more improved Andy Ruiz Jr.
All right, excellent. Thanks, Ray. Our next question is going to come. Bear with me here. We're going to go with Mark Wellenwala from Sporting News. Mark, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question. Mark, if you can hear me, please remember to unmute yourself.
Come on, Mark, I'm hungry.
All right, we'll move on to the next question. Our next one will come from Carlos Toro with Fightful and Fight Game Media. Carlos, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Everybody, thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. Andy, first question. When you first linked up with Elie Reynoso and you guys sat down and tried to see what can you guys work on, was it to try and become the same Andy Ruiz that beat Anthony Joshua at Madison Square Garden and sort of build upon that, or was it to sort of become a new version, a new Andy Ruiz, a different fighter that we kind of have seen previously?
You know what? When we first met up, it was like, all right, what do you want, dude? Like, what are we gonna do? Are you gonna be the same fighter like you were before, or are you gonna take it to the next level like I'm doing with the other fighters? So I was like, you know what, Eddie? I wanna do whatever it takes for me to become a two-time heavyweight champion of the world. And you know what? And that's when I made my decision. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give all the discipline that I have, every sacrifice that I have to do to prove myself and, prove to all my fans, because I feel I let a lot of people down. And like I said, I'm more motivated than ever. And having Eddie right here on my side, working together, changing all the stuff that I didn't do on my last fight or ever, it just feels good.
And a quick question for Chris. You mentioned that you were in great shape for the Adam Konofsky fight, and we all know about the great punch out, but do you believe that kind of work rate, that level of activity, is something that you also kind of have to replicate for this Andy Ruiz fight, or do you think that it's a different game, a different style that you need for a fighter like Andy?
Personally, I know it's a different style. I know that I have to come with a different game plan. At the end of the day, we're gonna fight. At the end of the day, we're gonna have some kind of a rock'em sock'em moment. But the thing is, we have to be smart, man. Andy has that hand speed that Kaunaki did not. Kaunaki is a strong man, but he's not a fast man. Andy has those hand speeds that if you don't bring your hands back, you're gonna get caught. And I've been on the receiving end of getting caught with someone like Romain Stavern. I got caught with a shot that I didn't see coming, and I don't want that happening against Andy, because Andy, I think, has a bigger punchy power than Stavern has.
All right, thanks very much, Carlos. Our next question is going to come from Iñaki Arzarte from Univision. Iñaki, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hi, ready.
Iñaki.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Well, the first question is going to be for Elie Reynoso. Eddie, ¿qué compromiso, cómo te ha representado este compromiso de entrenar a Andy Ruiz, especialmente por todo lo que ha implicado, la reducción de peso con Munir Somoya y el plan de pelea que tiene para el próximo 1 de mayo?
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás, Iñaki? Pues mira, Es un reto que tenemos, un compromiso muy fuerte con Andy, con todo su equipo, con su papá, que nos dio la confianza, con Andy también, que pues confió en nuestro trabajo. Hemos estado trabajando muy fuerte, hemos estado trabajando con mucha disciplina. Todavía nos quedan algunas semanas para cerrar bien el campamento y es un reto. El reto de nosotros como equipo es volverlo a ser campeón mundial y más que nada que se mantenga mucho tiempo como campeón. Sabemos que los rivales son difíciles, pero confiamos mucho en el talento que tiene Andy. Sabemos que tiene todavía mucho que dar en el boxeo y vamos a sacar lo mejor que tiene Andy Ruiz como peleador.
Perfecto, Eddie.
Can you
Want to
touch
translate?
the question?
Well, the second is for Joe. Joe, how different boxing style are you expecting from Andy Ruiz, especially talking about the fight plan for the next May 1st?
Do I feel that Andy Ruiz is going to have a different?
Iñaki, before you go, Ray, would you mind translating?
Yeah, I was going to say, so the question is what compromise did Eddie make, or what agreement did they come to terms with him and Andy to be able for Eddie to train Andy? And Eddie's Reynoso, his response, it was, listen, we talked with his father and his entire team, and it's a very strong agreement. They gave us the confidence that Andy was going to, work hard in the gym, and he's done exactly that. Look, the focus is for Andy to once again become a world champion. We realize that there are a lot of tough contenders and rivals within the heavyweight division. But I believe, along with Andy, that he has a lot left. And we have to continue. We have a month left of training camp. We're going to put in more work and time in the gym and get ourselves, 100% ready for May 1st.
Thank you, guys. And the second, for Joe, Elie, how different boxing style are you expecting from Andy Ruiz, talking about the fight plan for May 1st?
Well, look, I think Andy's style is Andy's style. I think the difference is going to be that he doesn't have to contend with being overweight. He even stated himself, he can do more things with that weight off. And now that he's transitioning his body, I think he'll have the same style. It's just going to be a new, improved style. He may or may not agree with that, but then on per Andy, he's been learning new things, new moves. He said, I'm doing moves that I didn't think I was capable of. So I'm sure he's going to have the same basic style he's always had, because, it's kind of hard to change your whole style. But I think what he's going to do is he's improved his style. He's added on to his style. So I think we can expect to see Andy Ruiz like normal, but really maybe at his best that he's ever been.
All right. Thanks very much, Iñaki. We're just going to take a couple more questions. We're going to take a couple more questions here. Our next one's going to come from Salvador Rodriguez with ESPN Deportes. Salvador, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I see the four guys. I'm saying hello first. Andy, what is your weight for the when you came to the gym with Eddie Reynoso and right now?
Yo estaba como casi 300 libras cuando estaba con el Elie y la meta es estar a 255 fuerte.
255 es la meta.
Sí, 255 para esta pelea es la meta. Para estar fuerte, vamos a perdiendo el peso como debe de ser y poco a poco vamos a estar bajando y poniendo más músculo.
Okay, he said that he came to the gym with Eddie in 300 pounds and the goal is 250 for the fight. Y esta es para Chris y para ti, Andy. El 1 de mayo se puede plantar una semilla, ¿no? Sé que lo que hiciste, Andy, fue brutal, ser campeón del mundo, pero yo creo que después de verlos el 1 de mayo, muchos pesos pesados de sangre mexicana van a querer seguir su ejemplo, van a querer estar ahí estelarizando como lo pueden estar haciendo ustedes. ¿Así lo sienten también?
Claro que sí, pues yo no cada pelea es difícil. Yo no estoy diciendo que el Chris Arriola va a estar fácil o nada de eso, porque yo sé que él viene con todo, él pega duro, como él dice, y nosotros ya sparreamos desde hace mucho y pues, pues la meta es a ganar y como dicen, a ganar.
Chris,
Can you translate what you said in English, please?
Oh, me?
Yeah, if you can
Andy,
translate what you
I'm
just said in
sorry.
English. Sorry about that,
That yeah, we've been training really hard, man, and like I said, on May 1st, it's gonna be an all-action fight. I don't think Arriola's gonna be an easy fight. I know he's training really hard with Goosen, and you know, I'm excited and I'm ready for whatever he's gonna bring, and I'm excited for whatever I'm gonna improve and show the people out there.
All right, thanks very much, Salvador. All right, our last question is going to come from Gayle Falkenthal. Gayle, you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
Thank you, gentlemen. Andy and Chris, you're both fathers with young kids. Do you get motivation or feel an obligation to be role models and show an example by what you're doing in this fight, not only for your own kids, but other kids out there?
Speaking for myself, yeah, that's one thing that if I go down, I get back up because I want my kids to see that no matter what, I'm giving them my all in the ring. No matter what, I'm putting myself out there. No matter what I'm doing, I believe in myself. And I want my kids, I want all the kids to believe in themselves. You know, you could become what you want if you really want it, but you got to put the time in it. You got to put the time and effort into it. You can't give up. You can't give up on your dreams. I'm still fighting for my dream. I'm still fighting to be where Andy's at. That's what I'm fighting for. You know, Andy proved to his kids that he could do it. He proved to everyone. He proved to the world. He proved to all the Mexican kids. He proved to all the American kids. He proved to everyone that, you know, people could talk crap about you, be like, hey, you're a fat guy. You're not going to be nobody. Well, guess what? That fat guy became a world heavyweight champion. And he knocked out a man that looked like an Adonis. You know what I mean? Body doesn't mean nothing. All that matters is right here, your heart, your ticker. And he proved it. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Yep, and I agree totally with Chris Arriola. My kids are my motivation, you know. I feel, you know, I gotta secure the bag for their futures as well, just how Chris Arriola is trying to do for his kids. And, you know, like when I got down, when they dropped me, I got back up, and that's what I want my kids to know too, that in any circumstances, it's either in boxing or anything else in life, if you're down, you could get back up, but you got to want it yourself. So you just got to be disciplined and, you know, work hard and what you really want to do.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you very much to the media. Also want to thank the fighters. Want to thank Andy Ruiz, Elie Reynoso, Chris Arriola, Joe Goosen. Wanted to go ahead and thank all of them for taking out the time for what they've been able to do here, you know, to talk with the media and everybody else. Also, Tom Brown of TGB Promotions, and all Mexican extravaganza comes your way Saturday, May 1st, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. Andy Ruiz Jr., Chris Arriola, and all Mexican heavyweight slugfest front and center from Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Gentlemen, thank you so much. We will see you in about a month's time as we get ready for your heavyweight showdown.
All right, much love, man. I appreciate all you guys.
And also, on sale, AXS.com is when you want to get them. Limited tickets are available. Dignity Health will be open in a limited capacity following all local and state health guidelines. The event brought to you by TGB Promotions and presented by Premier Boxing Champions. We'll see you in about a month. It is Ruiz and Arriola, May 1st on PBC Fox Sports pay-per-view.
All right, guys. God bless.
Hey, Dad, bro.
Yeah, I will, brother. Thank you, man. I'll see you soon.
Oh, hey there, fight fans. Didn't see you there. If you guys haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go to do so by clicking right here, or else.